Hi guys, just to tell you about the buildings. We've got a load of buildings that we've been creating and exporting ready for the engine. And just to let you know, we thought we'd say all the buildings are being created in this one, textured on that computer, rescaled on that computer, exported from this computer onto this computer, and then sent onto that computer to go into the engine. A lot of fun.
Hi, we're Infection Vector working on the Manhattan strain. My name's Owen. I'm the team lead and the AI programmer. We ran into a few issues, well more than a few issues last week, but thankfully we've managed to work through most of them, or at least get leads on how we're going to work through most of them. So we're moving along now nicely. We've got a huge chunk of the code done, a lot to do still, but we're happy with the progress we're making there. So hopefully now we'll be able to switch to working a lot more on the visual side of things as well, help out Chris with his texturing and basically just try and make the thing look pretty.
I'm David, I'm a programmer and I've been working on information boxes yet again, so hopefully we'll get them finally done this week, and quarantine and evacuation has been worked on this week.
Hi there, I'm Kieran, I'm the mechanics programmer, and over this last week I've been fixing any bugs that I found in the code, and I've been adding the ability for the user to select units and order them better.
I'm Ben, and at the end of last week I got the sounds finally recorded. This week I've actually been working on the HUD, getting the final design of that done, and it's actually been integrated into the 3D world now as well. And now I'm continuing to work on editing the sounds and get ready to put them into the game.
And by process of elimination, I'm Chris, doing 3D modeling, and this week I've just been texturing and tarting things up a bit.
We've made quite good progress actually. I mean, at the moment we are just sort of working on getting our first alpha version testing ready. Tom's working on the collision, so as soon as that gets all tied in together, we should actually have a very good testing session for people to do. We can get a good idea of what people think of the battle system, which I've been working on personally this week. Last week I was doing the particle effects, so those are pretty well tied up. And now this week I've been working on Leon's attacks, such as his charge shot, which as you hold down the left trigger, he charges it up. The bigger it is, the more damage it does, but the more cost effective it is, costly it is even. But the smaller it is, the quicker it is, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. And we've also got his healing abilities ready as well. That does an area heal for all his party members around him. So hopefully when the collisions are up and running, we should be able to get a couple of enemies in there, do a bit of testing, you know, use them for target practice.
Last week I managed to complete the train, and now I've been texturing like a madman, and pretty much taking textures from the library and like recompositing them, making them the correct size and whatnot with UVW mapping throughout the train station and the train.
I have been basically finishing off all the musical ideas, and I have also been working on the sounds of Leon when he attacks, so the sound of magic basically.
Just been working on animations and some of the models that are for our game. I've been working on a new character for players to use. As you can see from our website, it's Samantha Jones, the MI5 agent / warrior class.
I've achieved intersection, and that's fantastic.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, intersection is great.
We've got the origami forms in now, and you can select on the HUD which form you want to change it to. Change the HUD, so it tells you that you're in a plane form, and the sensor. You're not allowed to know what forms we're in.
How is Johnny getting on?
Great. Got some particle stuff in. Been chatting about the architecture, making them straight, ironing out some flaws. It's going good.
So this week we've been working more on the level design. As you can see, I've been creating behind us a lovely flower bed that's going to go into the background and hopefully be a significant part of our game. Check it out, it's very cool. And hopefully by the time we get back to next week's video, we shall have a more significant level.
So this week we were into importing the complete original level inside the game, and we got that. And now we were testing on the sliding program, so we got a test model for that, and that works pretty well. And we have been refining the parachute and the movement for the player. And this week we had people coming from real-time worlds, and they saw our game and they had very good comments, and we are thinking to work on that.
Progress this week has been really good. We've been continuing working on all the layouts for all the game areas, general level design, and we've been developing a lot of theme, all the textures, all the visual style that we're going to go for, and we've also been modelling and finishing up the actual robots that are going to be in the game, so a lot of progress.
This week I've made quite a few advances in the project. I've managed to get small things like getting the mod to properly go into Steam, showing our team name, everything like that, our website addresses. And more importantly, in-game we've got our own logo coming up at the start at splash screen. Whenever our own level's loading up in the background, our own fonts, our own menu information, all small things like that. I've also managed to get the engine to realise what object we're firing at, and if it does that, is it magnetizable or not, and attempt to send that to the manager.
Things are going pretty good this week. We've got our magnet gun running. This has taken us a bit of time. We've had a few issues with it.
We are right at the final stages of getting monitors into work, and but we've had to rejig our code. So previously we had two different files, and we've had to merge them into one, which isn't as simple as copying one side and pasting it into the other. We've had to make sure that it all logically works together, but once that's done, we will be able to finally have magnetism showing in the game.
I've made a lot of progress this week. We've had deliverables for Wednesday. They were asking us to create screenshots and rendered drawings, basically, and models. So we have to have the models with the meshes and the skeletons done for yesterday. So that's all the stuff I've been working on. I've created 3 concept art drawings, 2 of them quite high detail and 1 of them quite sort of sketch-like. I've created 3 screenshots from in-game footage, and then 1 of those we then edited to be a bit more detailed. And I've created the 3 high detailed mesh models from Maya as well, so we can use them in our game footage.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort out the rotation so it stays on the ground.
Cool.
But it's not working, so I need to think about how I'm doing it carefully.
I'm just doing some artificial intelligence at the moment. Really difficult.
Just work. Just doing some modeling. And that's it. Bye.
This week I've been working mainly on finishing off the animations for one of the playable characters, Grando. What I've learned is from one of the animation mentors, Gilly, was to really push the animation and make it really extreme, because the characters are going to be pretty small on screen.
They are very nice. And everything. Our graphics engine does it automatically for us. We don't usually do anything else other than make sure that our shader lights behave themselves and are written properly.
This week I've been working on the AI system and finishing off the gameplay scripting. So as we now have full gameplay, the characters can do everything that they're meant to do.
We've got near final level design and the collision meshes. It's just the very end of the last level. It's not completely final, but it will be very shortly. And so I've kind of moved off of that and on to the music and the sound effects for the game.